And I am so pleased to have the Water Bendita here today.
Hi.
Welcome. um, she does do her readings with her cups and with coffee, and she has been on other channels as well. So, this is just exciting, something that you may or may not have seen before if you had watched it on a different channel. But I'm pleased to have her, and she agreed to come today. And she is one that on her own channel or anyone else's, she keeps herself anonymous due to, job reasons and other reasons that she has. And so I respect that from her and welcome her to the show. Yeah. Isn't
Hi,
that great?
everyone.
Oh, Tracy, I'm glad that you're a huge fan. Yes,
Oh,
yes.
thank you, Tracy. I can't
Yeah,
see any comments, but thank
right,
you.
right. Well, I'll let you know. And everybody's saying hello to you. So welcome,
Hi,
welcome.
everyone.
And hi, Scott. Scott's here too.
Hi,
So
Scott.
yay, I'm glad you're here, Scott. Yeah.
How are you?
And all right. So yes, and T Barb and Marlene and Deb,
Hi, Teresa.
Priscilla, yeah, Sherry. I'm just gonna shout out a few more names here.
Oh, love you
And
guys.
Butterfly Kisses, Aspie. Wow, we got a lot of
Oh,
people. Yep.
Cooper's
And
next to
Carter
me.
Nancy. Yeah.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Nancy.
Yeah. It's very exciting. So we were talking, and I want to have her tell you a little bit about what she's going to be doing, and also um, how she came to learn how to do this, and how it was handed down to her. So I'm going to let her talk a little bit, and then she's going to set us up for what she's going to do.
Well, hi everybody. Thank you for the time and for listening to me. So let me start off with the anonymity situation. You guys, a lot of you already know my face because when I do readings for you or say hi, I'm a normal person. I show my face. But on
Mhm.
YouTube, I don't on the public domain because I have a job and they're very particular. I had to get rid of my own Facebook account like 8 years ago,
Oh
more than
dear.
so I
Yeah.
can't talk about politics, and my channel is based on politics, political reading. So yeah, that's the main reason. But hopefully
Right.
one day I'll be able to show my face and do my readings openly.
Sure.
Yeah, that's how it
We're
goes.
just glad you're here. So
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. So we were talking about the beginnings of this style of reading,
Okay.
and her relatives are from the Caribbean, I believe you said, and
Yeah.
also your grandmother was from Haiti. She was
Hey.
Haitian. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Um,
And why did they start reading coffee?
okay. So here's the thing. Nobody really knows exactly where the coffee cup came from, but uh, I can kind of assume where it came from. I think it has a very Arabesque, Turkish, from Arabia, from Iran kind of roots.
Mhm.
But the way
Mhm.
that they read their coffee is not literal; it's
Uh-huh.
figurative. So
Okay.
I think that migrants maybe from Europe and Arabia or Iran, that Middle Eastern part of the world, this is just my
Mhm.
theory, went
Yeah.
into the Caribbean because there's a lot of Spaniards there and they are from, a lot of Arabics and Turkish people.
Mhm.
And I think that they intermingled their culture with the African culture. Now, here's where the African culture comes in. They use coffee and they don't use coffee grounds, they use actual literal coffee. And the way
Okay.
that the African, like my grandmother's from Haiti, so she's my mother's grandmother. My mother's an orphan. My mother was orphaned at 2 years old. Her father died at 2, and her mother died at 14. So
Oh,
her grandmother
goodness.
took care of her. So
Uh-huh.
that's the grandmother that I know, my mom's grandmother. She's from
Mhm.
Haiti. So she's the one that learned to read, or she's the one that knew how to read the taza, the cup. Taza just
Mhm.
means cup in Spanish.
Mhm.
So, uh, you know, uh, so the way that they read it is literal, very different from the Turkish people, the Arabic people, the Europeans. So the literal interpretation is more African based, Afro Caribbean based.
Mhm.
I know people from Cuba and from people from Puerto Rico. So I'm Dominican and Haitian and Puerto
Uh-huh.
Rican, and I know people that are from Cuba and are from other parts of the Caribbean that read the taza.
Okay. So
Actually,
it's very
Becca,
normal there. Yeah.
very normal. So Becca from the House of Lenormand, her mother read the Taza, and they're from Cuba.
Okay.
So this is an Afro-Caribbean tradition.
Africa Caribbean. So I was asking you, and we didn't get a chance to say, but you said you're the first one in the family that's read on politics.
Yes. So
What were the others? Would they read on? Like love affairs and jobs and things like that?
okay. So here's the thing with the cup. This is so strange. So let's say everyone that does their cup puts in black espresso coffee with a little bit of sugar, swirls it
Mhm.
around, takes a sip, their own mouth, a sip, then twirls it around and then puts it against the stove like this until it sets with the fire.
Okay. Okay.
So that's your personal reading, your
Okay.
energy.
Okay. Sure. That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the only way that they've ever read. So what I decided to do during the whole, God forgive me, the whole Trump situation, I was so
Yeah.
I said, let me try to do it in the name of other people because my mom and everyone's always told me, how do you, I had dreams and things like that. And I knew what would happen to other people, even my pets. I would know when
Okay.
they would be passing away and things like that. So
Hmm.
I had a dog that I had since my childhood. And I told my mom, I said, Rambo's going to be passing away. She said, no, he's not. He's fine. And 2 weeks later, my dog passed away. Like
No.
that. So I kind of felt like had that whole thing with other people
Yes.
and things. So I decided that I was going to meditate, and it took me a while to get it. But then I started seeing things in the cup that I'd never seen before, Trump and
Wow.
everyone like that through meditation. And that's
Uh-huh.
when I said, listen, I think I got something here. I'm going to open up a channel and I'm going to read on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, if things come to pass, then it does work. If things don't come to pass, then I'll just, I won't have a channel. I'll just
Right.
close it. And so
Right.
then things just started happening. I started reading for different people, and it was just on point. On point.
Wow. It's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, so with the thing with the taza, my grandma and all of them, what would happen is in the Caribbean, you have like a break in between the day after lunch, you do a siesta, and then after the siesta, you have some coffee. So the
Uh-huh.
ladies would get together, and some of the men too, and it was very normal. Just set your cup, and then my grandmother would read it.
Yeah.
She told me when she was young, she had a hard time reading the cup, which is what I'm going through now, because she said she had
Uh-huh.
a household to run.
Oh,
So she had to
sure.
cook, clean, and take care of everybody. So it was hard for her.
Right.
But
Hard
as
for her
she
to get into that. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So as she got older and her, daughters and her sons and granddaughters started doing everything for her, she became an expert clairvoyant, this woman. So
Wow.
that was her job. That was her only job. So everyone would go to her
Hmm.
and she would read for them. She would say, you coming into money, or you should play this number. You're gonna get married. You would have these
Oh.
girls that would be like, I'm never gonna get married. Does he love me? And she would say, you're gonna get married, but not with that man. You're gonna get married with another man that looks like this. You're gonna have 2 kids. And then she said her granddaughters would get upset with her because it wasn't the guy that they loved. It was
Oh.
some other guy that was coming.
Yeah, I know. You can't make everybody happy.
Yeah. So she was very particular about who she read. So all
Uh-huh.
this was happening, and later on, I came into the picture. She was very, very old by that time. She died at 102.
Wow.
She lived to be
Okay.
102, and her mind was sharp.
Excellent.
So she would read the cup, and I was always very attached. I'm a Cancer, so I'm very
Uh-huh.
attached to my mom, to my grandmother, to my pets.
Sure.
I'm a crybaby. I'm that. I'm a typical Cancer. So I
Uh-huh.
loved her so much. I would always be with her. I would cry if someone would take me away from her. She
Oh.
was I was like I don't know, I was a tick to this woman. So
Hmm.
she would read the cups, she would read them like this, and I would be standing behind her as a kid,
Right.
and she will let me. And so she would say, you're gonna get married, you're gonna have a kid. And I started picking it up. I just started picking
Okay. Wow.
and she was so patient with me. My mom was like, no kids should be listening to this. Get out of here. My grandmother was like, that's okay. It's okay. You come on in. You come on in. And she would be like, your husband's cheating on you. And then my mom would be like, Mama, why are you doing that in front of the baby? So, sort of.
Oh,
So
that's funny.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's how I learned with her. My mom took
Okay.
a while before she was, okay, I'm gonna teach you because there's just no way. And that's basically it.
Okay. Well, I think that's really fascinating. And, but I want to ask you, when you mentioned that you knew about the dog and everything, was that just your normal
Yeah,
clairvoyance?
yeah. So this one you have to. Okay, so here's the thing about the
Okay.
task. So I opened up my channel because we don't live forever.
Right.
We one day we will all die, and I know I'm going to die one day. And
Hmm.
people in my family didn't pick it up like I did.
Sure.
So I want that to live on.
Sure.
I think I've given more lessons on the taza than I ever got as a kid on my channel already.
Oh, wow.
So
That's wonderful. So you're sharing it,
I'm
and that's
sharing it,
important.
and I'm
Yeah.
not charging anybody. You could just go and read it. But there's one thing I can't do. I can't teach you to interpret.
Hmm. Hmm.
You have to have that already.
You have to have that gift.
Yes, that
Hmm.
gift. So there are people that are in my channel that have nothing to do. They were born in the US, their parents are from Europe or from China or from Africa, that have had nothing to do with me, that are brilliant Tasa readers.
Wow. Okay.
Through the past years, I've been in contact with them and they've learned
Right.
Tasa. So
Wow.
there's
That's
nothing that
wonderful.
I can teach you. I mean, I can teach you the basics. This means money. This means traveling. This means baby. This means that. But at the end
Okay.
of the day, when you make your tasa, it's your responsibility. You have to find a very quiet place. You have to
Hmm.
ask God or that, supernatural force to help you see it.
Uh-huh.
And you have to be, the one to interpret.
Sure.
There are
Yep.
things my grandmother never taught me, like Trump. She don't know who Trump is. I had to figure out who this guy is.
Right. Right. Yep. Yep.
So Maxwell, the lady who's now in prison.
Yes.
There's a
Ghislaine
task.
Maxwell.
Yes, there's
Yeah.
a task that I did on her that shows the guards abusing her,
Oh,
and my grandmother never showed me. I had to interpret that.
okay.
So there's a limit.
Makes sense, though. It does. I wouldn't doubt that they would do something to
Yeah,
her. Yeah.
exactly.
Wow. And then what I did want everybody to know, if you haven't watched her channel, is that after, and you had made some predictions, I think in 2019, and you went back like a year or two later, and that's
So
when
that's
you
how.
saw
Yes,
Unfinished.
actually, that's part of learning to read the taza.
Okay.
Because, so example, I'll give you an example. When I was a kid, I was too little for my mom or my grandma to read my taza, but I would beg them.
Uh-huh.
I'd cry and throw myself on the floor and beg them to read my and
No
eventually,
Barbies for you. No
yeah.
Barbies.
Oh, I didn't like Barbies. I liked little baby dolls.
Okay.
So they would read it, and I remember my mom read it for me one day, and she was like, "This is my third grade teacher." She
Uh,
said, your teacher is gonna be a lady with short hair. She's gonna have a bunch of hair on the top, but short on the side. She's gonna have a little bit of a belly, and she's wearing a long skirt, and she has a little bit of bad posture.
oh,
And I remember having my report card in my hand
yeah.
that tells you where you have to make your line. And
Right.
I didn't need my report card. I looked, I found the teacher with my mom's description. I stood in the front of the line, and it was her. And throughout my whole life, that was and always will be my favorite teacher ever.
Oh,
And I was in
it-
the
it-
sixth
that's
grade.
wonderful. It's almost like you brought her to yourself. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, I love her so much.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. So today we're going to talk. She's going to do a reading she's wanted to do for a while. So I will let her tell you who it is, and I'll let her get started.
So
Yeah.
this is I have two cups. I did this one on Scout's channel. If you want me to
Uh,
do some things on it, just because this cup I don't want to do it on your channel because I will do some things that came out on this cup on your channel, but the rest I
uh-huh.
won't do in mine because there's some very unpeaceful,
Disturbing.
disturbing, and I don't
Yeah.
want to do that to you.
That's all right. We
Okay.
have to take sometimes we have to take the bad with the good. So whatever your choice, you're welcome to, or you don't have to. It's fine.
I'm not. It's pretty bad.
That's
So
that's fine.
I'm gonna skip this here. So this is a
Okay.
Lhasa reading on Xi Jinping. And the reason I did it on Xi Jinping, who's the chairman of the Communist Party of China, is because I wanted to know what's going on with China,
Ah,
because it affects us all, and
it does.
they've been having a very rough time. So the thing with the taza is, I can't make a cup on China. You can make the cup on a sentient being. It has to be a person or an animal or someone that passed away.
Okay.
So I can't make a cup on, let's say you lost your briefcase. On a
Yeah.
briefcase,
Right.
I have to do it on you and see if you'll find your briefcase.
Okay.
So I didn't know who to pick from China, so I just did Xi Jinping.
Yeah.
Um, so everything that happens, there's a rule here. So everything that happens closest to the handle will be happening the soonest,
Uh-huh.
the earliest. So what's happening the earliest within another probably a month or so, maybe less, is what's very disturbing, and I'm gonna skip. I'm so sorry, you guys.
But we'll probably already find out about it later. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna skip that, and I'm
Okay.
after this meeting with you, about 5 minutes afterwards, it's already set to go. I have it set as private on my channel. I'll just
Okay.
click it public, and you'll be able to see. But I'll do most of it here.
Okay.
So this is Xi Jinping here, and so this is something very, very typical of the taza. This is called the foot of fortune.
Oh.
So you see that dark
Uh,
spot? Let me see if I can
uh-huh.
mirror. You tell me if it's,
Yeah.
that is the foot of fortune. That means great luck, great money, great fortune to you. This is a billionaire, a millionaire person.
Sure.
And that's him. And these are Asian people. They come out different. Also, that's another thing I keep saying: dark person, light person, Asian person, blonde person. Not because I care about ethnicity, but this is what it shows me. So if
Mm-hmm.
I was just to tell you a man, a woman, a child,
Mm-hmm.
you wouldn't like, what is this woman talking about? Of course there's a man, a woman, or a child. But if I
Right.
say to you it's a Caucasian woman, it's a black woman, it's a Caucasian
Uh-huh.
black man, or
Okay.
when you see it on the news, you're like, okay, so that's what she was talking about.
Right. Right. Okay.
So here it is, this Asian gentleman. He has a little bit of a tummy. So I haven't seen him lately. So it's someone with a little bit of a stomach. He's getting older. I mean, we're all gonna go there. It's not like you're gonna have, you know, be skinny mini your whole life. So he is talking to this woman who's advocating. Here's a woman. See how he comes out kind of straight? The woman comes
Mm-hmm.
out more curvy. She's talking to him, advocating for this young boy, this young man. So he's going to help. This young man is somehow imprisoned
Okay.
or locked up somewhere or has some sort of issue. And the woman advocates and begs, or not begs, but asks Xi Jinping to intervene,
To
and
help.
to
Yeah.
help, and he does help that young man. He does.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then, I pray to show me China because I'm more concerned about the people there than the politics there.
Sure. Sure.
And so it shows me here. Uh, they're going to have some sort of black snow, acid rain,
Mm. Mm-hmm.
something to do with pollution. And it's going to be an event. Now, I don't know if we had black snow before. I should have looked that up. But it's some sort of strange blizzard, polluted, to do with snow, to do with water, something horrible. And it's gust of winds, tornadoes, blizzards. I don't know how to explain it. To the point
Okay.
that there's this woman, I think somewhere, maybe in suburbs or countryside, she's standing on a hill somewhere, and the wind kind of just picks her up, like her tornado just picks her up.
Oh, wow.
I don't see her passing away, fortunately, from that,
Uh-huh.
but we'll probably hear about that on the news.
Yeah. Yeah. So it couldn't be like if there was a what is it when the nuclear power plants go and things like that. I'm wondering if that could bring in black snow.
Yeah, I mean, like all I see is that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
So it
but
could be
it
obviously,
would be interesting. It would be interesting to watch out for that. Yeah. Okay.
they're having a lot of issues because of what man is doing to the environment.
Correct.
I
Yeah.
I don't
Their
doubt
air
that. It's like what you said. Yeah, it could
yeah,
be.
their air quality over there is horrible as well.
Yeah, and I think it's going to. Right now, it's mostly in the city, but
Yeah.
I think it's going to start affecting the countryside.
Hmm.
It's going
Okay.
to worry them because crops,
Yes.
manufacturing, all that. So I think he has a crisis in his hand when it comes to this.
Sure.
Because I don't see it could be in buildings as well in cities, but I kind of looks like the countryside to me.
Okay.
Like both places, but the ladies in the countryside.
Mm. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
There
We
is there is a bunch of cities. There are a bunch of cities that are in built up in the countryside. You know how fast they did the hospital there in Wuhan? It was like 2 days or 3 days or some crazy amount of time they put this whole thing together. They make these cities out, way out in the countryside, and they're called ghost cities.
yes.
And they have condominiums, apartments, buildings, and nobody lives there. And then they take them down and then
Oh,
they rebuild them again. They just
oh.
It's crazy. It's yeah. So the whole thing is so unusual anyway. It's just interesting to hear what you have to say about something we may not know more about. Yeah.
And things that make no sense like that, sooner or later, they may be profitable now, but
Right.
at the end of the day, they're gonna
Yeah.
come back to bite you.
They do. They do.
And so here's another thing.
Okay.
Um, so it's regarding. You tell me if you're comfortable. It's not as bad as this. You
Right.
tell me if you're comfortable with me talking about Taiwan and China. Right.
The timeline. Oh,
Taiwan.
Taiwan and China.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on between the two of them. Yeah.
Are you okay with me talking about it?
Mm-hmm.
Or
It's
should I
okay.
say that? It's
You
okay.
go. No, it's okay. Yeah.
So here's what I see with the Taiwan and China. Okay, so the perspective of the taza. This cup was made on Xi Jinping. It was
Mm-hmm.
June 15, 1953 in China.
Okay.
So this is a cup on him. Some things about him are going to show up. So I think he is planning. He's going to go through with it. Try to invade Taiwan.
Wouldn't surprise me.
I
Mm-hmm.
see military men. He's putting
Mm-hmm.
together all these military men, and they're all moving into a country. The bottom of the cup is the earth. This is the heavens. This is the sky.
Mm-hmm.
This is the environment. This is the earth.
Okay.
The earth here is another area, another island of some sort, another territory from where Xi Jinping lives. And there's a woman. They have a woman president there.
Oh
He's
boy.
intimidating this woman. I think he's going to try to make money, as much money, and save as much money as possible. And because of the bottlenecks of all the ships now everywhere,
Yep. Yep.
he's going to try to pull money out of everywhere. And he might threaten the Taiwanese president, their leader,
Yep.
to let him dispose of their goods, of their commodities, of their land, and bring it to the people in the mainland.
Yep.
If he does not agree with that, he's going to threaten to invade.
Uh-huh.
And you see
Wow.
this
Mm-hmm.
poor woman there, and she's got people on her side
Yep.
that look. I don't know if people in Taiwan are thinner than the generals that Xi Jinping has,
Probably. Yes.
but
Yeah.
that's kind
Yeah.
of what they look like to me. And
Right.
I know that they are her generals because she's facing them.
Right.
But look
Yep.
how many Xi Jinping has,
I know.
and look
And
at how
they're well fed. Yeah.
yes, and look
Yeah.
how few she has. So there's an intimidation. Now I don't know if they'll take over or not. Maybe that'll be a boiling point for the world.
It could be because they already interfered in what was it, Singapore, I believe, or Hong Kong. I can't remember
Hong
now.
Kong,
Hong
yeah,
Kong. Yeah, remember they wanted all the trials to be moved to China.
yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Mm. Wow. For entertainment purposes
This is
only.
only people for. This is my
This
religion.
is,
My opinion. I'm not God. I
that's
don't know.
right.
This is true.
Yep. Entertainment only. That's fine. That's
I'm
fine.
interpreting. Yep.
Hmm. So someone mentioned in the chat that 3 weeks ago he had a meeting with Putin.
Yes, it doesn't surprise me.
Okay.
So I'm gonna tell you something. So about a year and a half ago or 2 years ago, I,
Hmm.
I did a cup on Putin, and I
Okay.
saw Putin with Mohammed bin Salman.
Uh-huh.
This is why I wanted to do a Xi Jinping cup. Sorry, let me just go back.
Yeah.
I wanted to do a
It's
Xi
okay.
Jinping cup because I knew this was coming.
Right.
And after Xi Jinping, I'm gonna do a cup on Kim Jong Un.
Kim Jong. Oh yes, you need to. Yes.
Yes,
Yep.
because I know stuff is coming up.
Hmm.
Because on the cup that I did on Putin about almost 2 years ago, I
Hmm.
saw Putin intimidating women leaders. I think they're European because they came out with light hair.
Yes.
So
Okay.
I
Like Angela Merkel when she
Angela
was. Yeah.
Merkel or the
Yeah.
Queen of, is it Sweden has a queen?
Oh yes. Yep.
Denmark has a queen. A bunch of them have queens.
Right.
I don't think it's Queen Elizabeth because the Queen Elizabeth is like 95, and the women that
Right.
came out were
But
younger.
there's another one in New Zealand too. There's a woman in charge.
So
Yeah.
woman in charge. Okay. So
Yeah.
I saw Putin intimidating women, light skinned women.
Okay.
And he's gonna have Mohammed bin Salman. And now look at the oil prices; they are bullying the world.
Yeah.
So if you go back to my cup from 2 years ago, he's with Mohammed bin Salman, and they're bullying the world.
Yeah.
And they ask Kim Jong Un to join them, and Kim Jong Un says no. I have to think about it. I'm not sure. And then he has other Asian people advising him. So I think China is going to stop him from joining.
Okay.
China is going
Mm.
to stop Kim Jong Un from joining in Mohammed bin Bonso in
Okay.
bullying the rest of the world.
Sure. Wow.
So that's why I did
When
this cup.
when you do the one for Kim Jong Un, you need to tell us if he's alive or not, because there's some people that think he isn't.
He's alive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, I know I don't like. I'm not into conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
I don't want that. I'm just going by my cup. The
I
guy
understand
is
you are.
alive. He's not in no
Yeah.
coma. He's very sick, but he's
Okay.
still out there, and we're gonna see him more and more. He's
I
doing a lot
bet we are.
of horrible things to the South to the North Korean
He
people.
is. Yeah. Connie says they're starving everybody to death. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's still there, killing people, hurting people, being the most evil of all.
Right. Right.
I wish you guys were. I don't wish death upon anyone.
Right.
I wish he wasn't there doing that anymore. But
I know.
unfortunately, he is. According to my readings, again, I'm not God. Maybe I'm wrong. But according
Hmm.
to my readings, he's still alive and kicking. He's very, very ill, though.
Okay.
He's very
So
ill.
I think he has his sister doing some of his bidding for him. Yeah. But
Yeah. Yeah.
so maybe he'll be in cahoots with China toward Taiwan, because hasn't he blasted some rockets that way too?
Maybe. I haven't seen that yet.
You haven't seen it? Okay,
Yeah.
that's
But
fine.
I know that China is basically has him on a leash.
Okay,
So every time he
okay,
wants to do something crazy, they're like, no. And they kind of they don't like say to him no.
right,
They're more like, if you do this, what's gonna happen? You're not gonna get this. We're gonna block this. We're gonna block that.
right.
So you have to behave. We have other interests in other places,
Sure,
and you cannot come in here and just blow it up.
right.
And so he calms down. Like they probably have psychiatrists and psychologists talking to him. He's not well mentally and physically, but
Right.
he's still conscious and
Uh-huh.
Machiavellian. in
Yes.
his decision making.
Very much Machiavellian. Yes.
He is
And
not
his thinking.
senile. He's not in a coma. He's not. He is wicked, and he is on fire.
Yep.
That's what I
Wow.
see in my readings.
Uh-huh. Wow.
And the day
So
that I see him passing away, I will tell you. But I don't see him passing away yet.
you don't see him yet.
Mm.
So how much time usually shows up in a cup?
So it depends on the person.
Right.
So, for
Okay.
example, if you're a homebody, let's say you have agoraphobia,
Right.
you never want to leave your house, and you send me a
Right.
taza,
Uh-huh.
something that shows up here will be happening the soonest. But since you don't go anywhere, it could
Right.
be
It won't happen to you. Right. Yep.
it could
No.
be 2 years.
Right. I understand. No, I do. Yeah.
But let's say you're an extrovert and you're always out and you have a reactive life and your cup comes out full, I will say this will be happening very soon to you. About 2-3 months. This is another year. This is blah blah blah, like that.
Okay. I get you.
But
Yeah.
it starts in chronological order. From here is clockwise from the handle, and it goes clockwise
All the way around. Okay.
all the way around. And it doesn't show you things in the past unless it's about a person that's dead.
Okay.
So, for example, Khashoggi,
Right.
it showed me Khashoggi's life in chronological order, even though he was dead.
Oh.
Why he died, why they killed him.
Okay.
It showed that to me, and when that happens, my hair just sticks up like
I
that.
bet it does.
And
I'm going to go back and watch that one if you've got it up because that's interesting.
Oh yeah, I'll find
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I think it was for Jared. The reading was for Jared.
Oh,
And Khashoggi came out.
came out. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. Wow.
So that reading, yeah. And
Okay.
I remember crying when I was doing the cup. I remember.
Yeah.
Just,
I can imagine that you could get pretty emotional when you're seeing things that are disturbing. Yeah.
And I don't know if I should put it on YouTube. That's my main thing.
I know. I know.
But now I think I've trust a lot of people now. Before I used to get a lot of trolls, but now I have
Yeah, yeah.
is very understanding and smart about it. Like they
And
know.
yeah, and they know that it's just entertainment basically, and yeah. Yeah, I understand. Yeah. Connie, I want justice for Khashoggi as well. That was a horrible thing to happen. So yeah, I agree with you.
Yes.
So anything else that you want to tell us about that, or are we done?
I think I'll leave the rest for
Okay.
on my channel, but because it's kind of disturbing, I don't.
I understand.
Commit you to something so ugly.
Yeah, yeah.
But I do the Steve Bannon just a recap. I know I did it on Steve's, but since
On Scott's, yeah.
I mean on Scott's.
This is Steve Bannon. Okay.
Sorry, I say Steve Bannon on Scott's channel. So, so one of the things that I saw was that he was gonna get sick.
Yeah.
And that he lives with a lady.
Oh.
And the lady that he lives with, his partner with, is also gonna get sick. And I think it might be breast cancer. And I think he's going to have some sort of abdomen cancer.
Oh.
So it could be colon, it could be intestine, it could be liver. I know Scott said, "Oh, it's probably liver because he drinks." Could be, yeah.
Yeah, could be.
So, unfortunately for him, I don't wish cancer upon my worst enemy.
No, I know you don't.
That never existed.
But he is a very negative person, and I see a lot of negativity come out in cancer. It really can.
Yeah.
You know. So okay.
So and the people there's a woman that's gonna test. You see that everything that's going on now, and I remember when Scott and I did the reading that we said that he's not gonna go quietly. That even if the Democrats
told
him that he had to go and he wouldn't show up, sure enough, he had to be held in contempt of Congress so that he could. And he has a lot of issues, not just the January 6th, that are going to come up for him. And there's a woman, a light-skinned woman with light hair that's going to testify against him. She might bring him down.
Okay. So you must have done this before he went to jail, did you?
Yes. Before.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, he did make a big stink today. He said he was going to take everybody down. You're playing with the wrong person. And so I'm going to take you down, Nancy and Joe and somebody else.
Yeah.
Um,
So yeah,
so,
so exactly that's what Scott and I were reading on. We were like, yeah,
yep.
he's gonna go quietly.
Hmm.
Don't
And
get
he
your
didn't.
hopes
He's
up.
not.
Don't get your
Yeah.
hopes up, but eventually something will get him.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. Wow. That's amazing. So, wow, I could think of about 20 people I'd love you to do this on, but
Tell me like who, because I've done a lot of people. I'm not very well known though, because I don't post regularly. First of all,
okay.
just
Okay.
reading tarot, I will post more regularly. But people have
Sure.
asked, don't do the tarots. There's so many readers that do the tarot. Just do the tasa. I was like, okay, and that's what
Yeah.
my channel's about too, mostly tasas.
Yeah.
So
No,
this is
that's what makes you so unique and interesting. Because, you're not just the ordinary tarot or ordinary. Yeah.
and it takes a
Uh,
lot. Tarots are for me. I could do 20 tarots. I'm not tired, but I'll do two tasas and I'm spent.
it really.
Yeah.
Okay. So if somebody wanted to have a reading, would they have to take a cup and do that and then send it to you? Is that
Yes.
how you? Okay.
So right
That's it.
now
Yeah.
I have 704 requests for reading.
Oh my goodness.
And I replied to like five a day,
Okay.
and I can't bring it down. They just keep coming. So
Of
a lot of
course. It's
people are
so interesting.
probably,
Yeah.
yeah, they're like, this lady is a jerk. She doesn't reply to me. I'm a,
Um,
s- I'm a so little person. I'm like
right.
120
Plus you work full time.
pounds.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
I work, and I'm a small person. I can't.
Right.
So you guys gonna have to wait because I can't really. So yeah, so I tell them you have to do it yourself. And there's a video that I do
Oh,
that
that shows them how to do it? Okay.
and then they take pictures of it and then they send it to me.
Oh, they take the picture of it.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I
Yeah,
tell
that
them.
makes sense. Yeah.
So what I tell them is take a bird's eye view picture.
Uh-huh.
You take a bird's eye view.
Right.
Send me that one bird's eye view picture. Don't send me all of them yet. If that
Okay.
picture is good, I tell you, okay, so take us a session because sometimes they don't know how to do the cup.
Right, right.
I have
Yeah,
to,
you want to tell them before yeah, absolutely.
even
Do it
they think
again. Yeah.
they got it, yeah. So then if they get it right, I tell them, take us a session of picture as if you were a tiny little figurine standing in the center
Oh, wow.
and you were taking pictures of everything that was happening like that.
Right,
And so then
right.
when they send me the pictures, for each cup that I read, it takes me about an hour to an hour and a half of me sitting there looking at it,
Okay.
like this, going like this, going like this. I don't know anything about you. I don't know if you're a man or a woman most of the time. I don't know how old you
Mm-hmm.
are. I don't know. And so I have to really concentrate. So it takes me a long time to do one little reading. It's
Oh, I bet it does. Sounds like it. Yeah.
an hour and a half of me figuring it out and then about an hour reading. So for one reading,
Wow.
about 2-3 hours of my life. So that's why I'm so behind.
Sure.
You
So
know.
don't give up, anybody.
Yeah. So 104 I have to reply to.
104.
I mean
Okay. Well,
704, sorry.
700. Oh my goodness.
704 people waiting for me to reply from all over the world. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Then like 10, I reply to 5 and 10 more come in.
Well, Tracy says you're a master of your craft, and I can see that you are.
Oh,
It's really beautiful. I guess you could probably quit your job and do this full time, but that might be exhausting. So
I don't know if I have that much faith in me. I mean,
I understand.
my job's
Uh,
my health insurance here in the U.S. You got health
right.
insurance for your job. If something
Yeah.
were to happen to me, I
Yeah.
would have to buy insurance. It's a lot
No,
money.
I understand. And
I
a lot of people don't do it. Yeah. Yeah.
in my
So,
pets, I got my pets insurance through my job too.
well, good. Really, that's wonderful. Wow. So we got Billy the Kid in the background there,
Oh yeah, people
and
notice that.
everybody notices that. And somebody was related to him here. Let's see,
Yeah,
it was Warrior Girl.
hi. My
Yeah.
husband out to you. I love him so much. I feel him. I feel his
Well,
spirit with me all the time.
do you?
I
That's
think he was
wonderful.
born in Brooklyn. That's where I'm from.
Okay.
They're not
Wow.
sure, but they think he was from Brooklyn.
Okay. Yeah.
migrated. Yes, I love
Wow.
him so much. I feel
That's cool. Yeah.
I think that
Everybody's go
if
ahead.
if he were alive today, he would have been in the tech industry.
Probably.
He
And
would have been
maybe not end up dead. Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, I will, Debsy. I will post the link to her channel. Definitely.
Thank
Uh-huh. Yep, I will. Um, yes, I'm going to go back and have some fun. Warrior Girl said she read a letter he wrote home laughing about them nicknaming him Billy the Kid. Oh, wow. Oh, and who's this?
Oh
This
yeah,
is,
so this is my guy. I just blew it out because it got too hot. This
that's
is
all right.
Saint Martin. So I had him up here because if I have him here close to the wood, this is my
Oh,
candle.
wow. I didn't know there was a Saint Martin.
So Saint Martin. So when you read the Taza, you
Yeah.
I ask for because I'm a Christian. So I ask Yahweh the Father. I ask
Yes.
Jesus the Son, and then I ask my saints. So he's my family saint, and he is the son of a slave woman
Oh.
and a Spaniard slave owner,
Mm-hmm.
and he became a priest.
Okay.
And he's my family saint. And my mom,
Awesome.
my tia, everyone have asked him, I want to have my own home. I want to have my own home. And he
Uh-huh.
gave them their home. They have their own houses because they pray to him
Because of
fully.
Pray to Saint Martin.
And
My last name is Martin. That's why it stuck out for me. All right.
so
Um, Connie wonders, what does Saint Cecile present to us as a message? I don't know.
I don't know. I'm so
No.
sorry. I only
Yeah.
speak of what I know for real.
Yeah. And
That's
I
my
can't tell you either, Connie. I don't know. I'm sorry. Yeah.
sorry. I'll
That's
look
not.
her up if you want, and I'll.
Yeah. Let me see. There was something else before we go here. Um, yeah, Scott was having trouble making his
That's a
taza, and somebody said maybe he didn't add enough sugar. And I bought one of those Turkish pots to make your coffee, and I bet that would be a good
perfect.
one
That's
because
probably
they're
perfect.
darker. It's darker, isn't it?
So
Yeah.
yeah, so at the beginning when people would send me their so okay, so if someone sends me their cup, it's a lot of back and forth with me. Sometimes I'm
Mm.
working and I'm like, I gotta let them know before my day ends.
Right.
So if you send me a cup, so you see this,
That's a beautiful. Yeah, I mean that's really, you can see that.
this is
Yeah.
very dark, dark coffee.
Yeah. Right.
This is not your normal Folgers. This is espresso. Like
Yeah. Espresso.
this is
Espresso would
like
really do it. Yeah.
I'll compare it to like drinking. So for example, Folgers or whatever you normal coffee that you put in the drip is
Hmm.
let's say Budweiser,
Okay. Yes.
and then this is like the darkest red, the
Right.
fanciest Cabernet Pinot Noir,
Right. The $100 bottle.
or
Yeah.
the thick, thick,
The
thick, thick
thick stuff. Yeah.
dark. Yeah,
Yep.
from so when someone sends me a cup, I used to before really strain myself trying to read it, and I'm like, this is not fair to them because I'm guessing.
Hmm. Hmm.
I'm not certain. Like this cup, I'm like, boom, kid here, kids there, man
Yeah.
here. When you send me a cup and the coffee's light, I'm like, is this a kid? Is this a man? Like, is this
Yeah.
a house? Like, what? It's not fair to you, and it takes me so long to figure
Oh,
out.
yeah. That would take longer because it's not dark enough to notice it. Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
just tell you now, this is a thing that like from a year now. I'm so sorry, I can't read your cup. You need to get real espresso. Go to
Hmm.
Starbucks and ask for doppio espresso, which is the Italian
Okay.
for double espresso,
Uh-huh.
and then you put some sugar in it, and then you you put a little bit of sugar in it, you stir it, and then you take a little sip, and then you flip it on the stove. I
Right.
can't read if your coffee is too light. Unfortunately, even I did this mistake almost today. You see how this one's a little bit lighter?
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. That one on the left is so
Yeah,
much darker. Yeah.
because I'm like rushing to do this, and I needed time to read it, and I didn't
Sure.
even. So I was like,
Uh-huh.
oh, but I
Mhm.
I'm closer to it, so I can understand it a little better. But yeah, you do need very, very, very dark coffee, and I think that's the problem with reading it.
Sure.
That's the biggest issue, getting the
Yep.
right kind of coffee.
Getting the right amount so it's dark enough to read it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, who was it? Warrior Girl. You did miss the beginning. She learned from her grandmother and her mother, and it's a Caribbean Haitian, um,
Dominican, Afro-Caribbean.
Dominican sort of, and a lot of the ladies would get together for coffee in the afternoon after a siesta, and they started doing it. And but it originated in Africa, really. So there's a lot of African roots. Yeah. Wow. So I'm so glad to see so many people here. I will definitely post, and thank you, Scott, for you posting. But yes, it will be Water Bendita, and I will post
Thank
it
you for that.
on the chat so that you have it, so you can go over and sign up, and and get in line. Get in line if you want a
I'm so
reading.
sorry, guys. I'm trying so hard, but it's just me. If
Oh,
my
I
mom
know.
if my mom was good with technology, which she's not, she takes a
Uh,
picture of her feet all the time, trying to take a picture of the cat. I would I would send all the Spanish speakers and Italian speakers to her,
oh yes,
but
yes.
she's just not. So you guys are stuck with me, and I work like a 10 to 12 hour day almost every day.
Oh, well, I appreciate you agreeing to come on with me
Oh no,
then.
no, that's
No,
fine.
but that's
It's
so
been a
nice. Yeah, it really is. Yeah.
it's been a slow week this week, so
Okay.
it's
All
been
right.
a better week.
So definitely, we know you're busy, but you're good at what you do. So we're just going to say, hang in there, and you'll get to it when you can. And it was just so fascinating. I just appreciate you being here so much.
Thank you, Ellie.
So
I
many.
appreciate you inviting me. That's so kind of
Oh,
you.
you're welcome, dear. You're welcome. And thank you to everybody in the chat, plus the moderators. And
Thank you so
we'll see you
much.
again on the flip flop here. Thank you, Water Bendita.
Thank you, everybody. Teresa,